Day. I'm very happy to see you. I am very happy to see you. We have all the reasons to tell God that He lives, that we are alive, that we are alive. Invite somebody, invite somebody, invite somebody, invite somebody, and that somebody lets him or her invite somebody. Let's talk about this matter. We are going to add this program where we get a solution to this problem which have started and which is affecting millions of people in our society. I am not I'm not here with the whole solution, and I am not the final. I cannot say that what I'm talking about is the best of the best, but we are trying to look at these things because some things they have been there, they have been affecting us, and no one have ever stand up and say enough is enough. The families have been affected so many generations. Apart from African society, which these things started another day. In West countries, divorce, separation, come and stay relationship, they have been breaking for centuries. And let me talk not about this because I don't know how old divorce and separation and break from come and stay relationship have been there. So that one I've never done research, but I am going to play to start with. I'm going to play. My name is Wagari Jane, and sometimes you find people calling me Jane, and I want to clarify this, and I want to explain this. Jane is my mother. Of course, that name is my artist name. It's not my real name. My real name is Helene. So when I was like recording my music, I just lost the most important person in my life. That is my mother, and that's why I decided, should I not take this name just in honor of her? And I'm so grateful for the work that mother do, father do for the sake of their children. For in this life, we don't need one parent, but we need both parents. And today I want us to look at things to consider or things to have in mind before you say, like, I am going to divorce, I am going to separate, I am going to break from my calm and stay relationship. It's good to think of some things because today we don't do things like in like the past during our parents days. Today you need to think, yes, I am breaking, I am separating, I am divorcing, but what should I think? There are some things you should think before you do these things. Otherwise, you're going to do things out of anger. And because one thing, when someone disappoints you, especially in a relationship, or even a friend, let's say when something happen and it affects you so much, you if you are not careful, and that's where the spirit of anger even arise in our life. You 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 see even people that are in that condition, even at a place of work. No one need to tell you that this person is going through stuff. You know it by the way that person is behaving. You can see that you can see a person who have been so good, not arrogant, not rude, a person who was talkative, and he was straight, and he was open. He's in a trauma, or he's going stuffs that he have developed another personalities. And to start with, I would like to say like this: when you realize, like, we Western, we when we have a habit like when you're going some stuff like divorce, separation, or breaking from come we stay, we do tell even our bosses so that if in case my my workmates they can report things like, yeah, Helen, she's not doing she's not active in working the way she used to be. There are some, so that the boss and my whole work team they know there is something which is going on right now. That's why probably I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. I am not performing the job that I used to perform as usual. It's very good, by the way, to let people at your place of work and those that are religious like me, it's good to talk to your pastors. And you people, when these people they come to you and they open their hearts, can you be a little bit mature, please? It's not time to sambaza. It's not time to spread. That's what sabasa means. It's not time to spread. So and so is going through these stuff. No, that person is telling you with with an expectation that you understand her better, that these things that he or she is going, they are not permanent. She's expecting or he is expecting you to bear with her for that condition he or she is in. So I'm going to play my music 1 minute, then we'll get in our topic for today. Because I want us to tackle this matter and try to look whether we can come with a solution. Nakora mara matiane kaga nijo ene mare matona ne maiguaga nane kia doiga no ginya gwaririe gwire shaitani Shaitani Noroakwa wekuria thiaga tundu mwiri ni wa matuko manini nijethagĩra roho wa kũtũũra tondũ roho ndũgakuota mwĩrĩ shaitani na nĩkĩ shaitani ũtendaga ona niĩ nginya igũrũ ndakwĩra gũkũ ndũtumwo ũgeni oya magũrũ makue thĩ njĩra ĩngĩ shaitani gĩtage matũ rĩu wĩigue shaitani tathikĩrĩria ngwĩre shaitani ndwĩhang'ie kũngĩ tondũ gũkũ ndũtumwo ũgeni tondũ gũkũ ndũtumwo ũgeni. Yeah, let's pray another music. I'm trying to share the broadcast, waiting for some others to join us. Let's if you are I can see there is one person that have joined me. Let's listen to one more of my songs as I try to share the broadcast. Ngai amwamoreire wĩra wa kĩahunjia atungatĩri na thĩnjĩria Ngai akĩmwamũrĩra andũ ake mũmahũnie kĩroho mũmathomithie kiugo mũmatongorie na mahoya mũmarute gũthiĩ kanitha na nĩ mũremetwo wĩra wa Ngai arĩithi ndũrĩ na mũrĩithi mũtiganĩirie mbũri cia Ngai nĩkĩ nĩguo Ngai aroria mwehoka mbũri atĩ nĩ ikwĩrĩithia ci wiki itarĩ rĩngĩ mbũri rĩciaga mũndũ wa rũru cokererai mbũri cianyu mũrĩithie nĩguo mũmwĩtia aroiga gĩthiĩ kũria wĩra kũrĩa ũria wĩra na nĩkũrĩgĩrĩire mũcara wa mweri na nĩguo ciogegetie ngoro cianyu mũgatiga mbũri mũkariganĩrwo atĩ nyoni cia rĩera-inĩ ona nyamũ cia gĩthaka itirĩmaga ona itiũĩ mbia ona itiũĩ maica rĩrĩa waciũmbire nda ciagagĩra gĩa kũrĩa o mũthenya thunagogi nayo Ngai mwahingũra mwatua nĩkuo mũrĩendanagĩria na mũrĩgũranagĩra ndungata cia Ngai mwaheirwo iheo tũhũ na rĩu mũndũ akĩenda mahoya no mbia wũi arĩithia mbũri mwarĩithia mbũri cia mwene mũhuru njonĩke. I'm trying to share the broadcast. Shokerara iroru Molire boli todomwane boli Oigirioria Oka hetidia Emwe aboli Nokamwekera gethe igigo Ngayaroria kae mutage mwehokera maisha manyu Kwana niahunagia Nyandi ciarĩera-inĩ Kwana tũmbaga mahuru matwarĩre rija irio Mũtimwĩhokere maica manyu Mwone mũkĩrarĩra Mũtimwĩhokere maica manyu Mwone kana nĩ mũgũtarũkĩrwo Mwĩhokere Ngai maica manyu Arĩithia mbũri Amacokerere wĩra wanyu mũkenie mumũti nĩguo aroiga Yeah. Let's start. Yeah. For the sake of those that have joined me, I am going to represent myself because it's very good for someone to represent him or herself because not everyone know whom I am and not everyone we have met physically or spiritually or in all ways people can meet. So as I say, Daria, my artist name is Wagari Jane and I sing gospel songs, saved, redeemed, chosen with a mission, with an appointment from the Lord. So that's my area. And apart from there, I am a career woman. So I don't do these things. I don't sing daily. I have not yet started with my third calling, as I can say, because my first calling was like going to the studio. And after that studio, I felt like this topic was pressing me too much. I talked with my spiritual mother and I told her, I feel that the Lord is trying to communicate with me that I must talk with the Sigo families. I must give hope to the Sigo families. And that's why I started to come online to tell people that you are not alone. I am not alone. We are many. And this is not a permanent stage. And it's not at the end of us. No. What some of us need is we need time to heal. We need time to recover. We need time to take to gather our strength again and to start this journey because it's not easy. It's not easy to divorce, to separate, or to move apart from your common stay. And today, there are some things I would like to talk because, as I said, one way of becoming Sigo is through divorce. And I want us to go back there. Divorce, yes. And sometimes people, they mistake divorce and separation. Divorce is when you are out of your marriage. You are no longer married. But when it comes to separation, there are three kinds. You can separate, but you are legally married. It's not common in Africans, or now divorce. It have recently come in African culture. So on that topic, Western countries, they know what I mean. By separation, you can feel like that. Yes, I'm married, but right now I'm not in good term with my husband. Instead of divorcing him, choosing a divorce dialect, we can say like this: come into term, legally, not illegal. Yes. Should we give it a time to think? And there is 3 type of separation. One is a trial separation, which means breaking from the relationship and living apart from your partner to think, both of you, of course, to think whether you are going to divorce or you are going to solve your problems. But that one does not mean, remember, you are legal married. So no one, you cannot marry a person. You cannot marry another person because you are legal married. You have just moved from your partner. You say, we need a break. We need a break. It's too much. We need a break. We need a time to think, like, are we going to apply for a divorce or we can solve our problems? And how long you can be separated, it depends on your city, your country, your nations. And yeah, that's why sometimes it's good to check on these rules that applies in, because like we Europeans, our rules, they intend to differ too much from Americans' rules. So we Europeans and we Scandinavians, we do things. Even if we are in Europe it consists of 42 countries, but Sweden, Denmark, and Norway, they are the Scandinavian country. Family much, because for our society to be healthy, for our nation to be healthy, we have to consider the family. So our pillar in this Scandinavian, family is everything. We like family. Although we divorce too much, I cannot deny it, but we love families too much. The other kind of separation is permanent. You live apart from your spouse without any intention to reconcile, but you have not divorced. Remember, you have not divorced in this separation. You have not divorced, but you have decided to move apart and you don't want to reconcile. But legally, when I check, like we have, when you want to check like my status and you want to get my details, there is somewhere in the government you can go and check. Especially, we say like my relatives or somebody I mean a lot to him or her. You can go to a certain department and get my information. You can know whether I'm married, what my status, and everything. But that details I'm not going to go deep on it, because there is a process, and sometimes it's not everyone that is given, because some people, they have a hidden identity for their securities. So it's good to know that. And I don't know whether it's only applies. I know in Europe is too. I know in Europe is common. Not in every country in Europe, because not every country in Europe among the 42 is developed. Some other countries, they are poor also in Europe. But the developed country in Europe, you can get some of this information in government. When you give the detail, who are you, your connection with that person, you can get. The other parts, the three type of separation is legal separation. This most is done by religious people. This where you divorce. This is where it is similar to divorce, but is a slight difference from divorce, because this is where you are no longer, let's say that in legal separation, you are no longer married, but you are not divorced. You are no longer married, but you are not divorced. It's like, yeah, that's why we consider it more divorce, because you have nothing to do with this person. In trial, when we consider legal separation with the trial, in trials, all that you had before and after you moved out. That is in trial separation. It belongs to you both. But in legal, the things that you get yourself, you buy, that's what I mean. After you moved from your spouse, it will not be counted as you as both. Because I don't know how divorce process take place in most of the African country, but I'm going to talk that process in divorce that I know, because I have not done research of all the nations of the 7 nations how divorce is, and then it can differ from, like in US, it can differ from one state to another. Like in Europe, when you plan to divorce, you apply for a divorce in the court. And then you wait. The court will set a date, especially we say like you are divorcing and you have children. The government cannot allow you to divorce anyhow. Now here they come and decide. Here they stand on the gap of the children. They talk on the behalf of the children. So there is something, I tried to get the English word of that name, but I could not get, but I can explain it. In Swedish, we call it bodelning. The government the government through the courts, it wants you to divide things equally for the sake of the children. So when you are doing divorce, you cannot just like, I have divorced you. It's not a matter of sending papers and they lie to you and divorce. No, it's a process. And that's why I want us to talk today. Things to think before you divorce, because divorce is not just a divorce. Yeah, it sounds easy, but I'm telling you, if there is something headache, and if you are gone through a divorce like me, sometimes you think, should I really marry legal or illegal? Because marrying legal, it costs like those your partner. We say like most of the marriages, either a man or a woman, one of you is earning much, and probably one of you have a problem economic. You have applied loans in the bank with my knowing or without my knowing. When it's come to divorce, the court want us to divide all this, even your loans that you took when we were married. The court want us to share everything. That throne we divide. So sometimes it's wise, like in West Country, because so many people before, they have been using marriage as a way to get wealth. As the way we are seeing today in some African countries, they are using children to earn wealth. Like you try your best to give birth with a certain person simply because that person is rich. And after that, even you had not discussed whether you are going to get, even you were like in a cohabitions relationship where you are not married, but you live like partners, sexual partners, but you don't live in the same house, in the same roof, but you are in a relationship where you do sex and you do all these things that the marriage couples they do, but you live in separate places. So in West countries, you after a period, I think they realize some people they are misusing this kind of like you some people probably they had married from one person to another, then getting well they move, they marry another one, they see like this one is rich, they divorce, they married another one. But today there is a system that, like today, if I remarry, mind you, all that I have, I go and register it where we pay taxes. In the Department of Taxes, I can register everything I had before I met you. Same case to you. Before you marry me, you can register all that you had, and we can come to an agreement. Yes, we are planning to marry. We are going to make it easy in case for future reference. Nobody know what the future holds for us. And for better, and it's good to think, to see far. Let's use that word. It's good to think far. We don't marry, no one marry with an intention to divorce, but it's for your own security, to avoid wastage of resources. Because those lawyers, the moment they come in and they try to solve this problem of dividing things, like we European, you have to divide everything for the sake of the children. You have to come in good terms. You have to agree. Yeah, who is taking who is taking who is taking who is taking that and that. You decide, you come to an argument, and it doesn't matter even if you want or you don't want. If you are unwilling, they will do it with force. Because the moment two people they don't want to live together in the West country, and you have children, these children legally you have the right, in legally children they have the right to claim you are raising up. And that is very good, because when two bulls they fight, when you go like you go that place after 10 minutes, look at the ground and you see they have everything that was around them when they were fighting. It is in chaos. And that one I think is very good. It's very healthy. It's very healthy that we consider children, because the children are innocent. The children are innocent. So before you divorce, count losses. Count losses before you divorce or separate. Come we stay is another thing, because come you stay, no one know about your marriage. When you don't come into terms with one another, you just pack your things and go. So come and stay is another form of relationship, which is not there even in the society. It is not recorded somewhere. Come we stay. Come you stay. When it's finished, and everyone take your own way. And that is the most and the worst kind of relationship that children they suffer a lot. Because like we African children, most of the men, they just leave children with the mother, and they don't care. Some they even is their last day for that children. And unfortunately, because of the anger and the bitterness that have been in that woman, and lack of knowledge and understanding in that woman, children may grow old and die without knowing who was my father or who was my mother. We have seen cases today where women are packing, mad women. A woman who was in a labor, a woman who had that womb 9 months. You went to a labor ward. I can imagine what a labor ward is. And you dare leave that child for life. Some they end up leaving their children because of other because of her other partners. They're in another relationship. You have seen people even here divorcing. You just see someone is divorcing, and we came to, and you wonder why. Some they say I'm just tired, but within a short time you realize they have jumped in another relationship. So we know already before even that relationship have started when this person was already married. But because we don't have evidence, we cannot take the legal way. The other partner, your partner who has the light, because you are not supposed to be involved in another relationship when you are married legal. But because there is no evidence, that's where they escape. So it's very good to consider, yes, my relationship is tough, it's not working. But before you take a plan, before you decide, I'm going to leave, can you sit down and think, am I ready for this? Am I ready for this? As I told you earlier, 4 years down on the line, I was thinking, and I had read, and I had taken all the details. Because as I said earlier, when I saw the red flag coming and it started blowing more red flags, I started arranging myself. I started thinking, this one I don't think I can handle. Because I was going some other stuffs, and now instead I could not hold anymore. So, but for my case, I had studied I had studied books, and I had even known the role. That's why I tell women sometimes, don't be a housekeeper, my dear friend. Me, even time I see like I'm less busy, I prefer to take some courses. Even I can take beauty course to avoid idleness. Idleness, because I'm very eager to know. And it's like, what if I become jobless today? Will my children become hungry? No. Will I go selling myself so that my children can have a living? Will I go to the social government and start begging them for money? No. That's the way of living. You do sales and marketing. You go with whatever the waves of that period is coming. If now it's marketing which is good, jump to that. It's like, don't say that, yeah, I'm a psychologist. That is dead. I cannot do marketing. I am a lawyer. I cannot. These things, these jobs that where people are sitting in the office, they can end. But these things you do with what? These practical things. It's very hard for them to work. It's very hard for them to add. And it's good to have too much knowledge than little knowledge, because I've seen people living here in West countries and they know nothing. When things, they are like mad. They behave like mad people. They don't know. They don't know what's the way forward. They don't know what's the way forward. And it's very bad. It's good to have, especially when you are living in a foreign country. Eh? And even make sure you have some details. The important, you cannot study everything, but make sure you have the most important knowledge, things that happen in daily lives. Make sure you have a clue. If this thing can happen to me, yes, I'm there, my life is good. But if this thing can happen to me, do I know how I can react? Do I know where to go? Do I know where to seek help? Do I know the way forward? If you don't know, before you get there, it is time to do a research. To do a research. It's good to have too much knowledge. It's good to know and to talk with people who have gone through such stuff. It doesn't mean that if today you are married, you cannot be divorced tomorrow. That no one have a guarantee of life. No. Even if you are living happily with your family, get eager to know the process that, like today, just be eager to know if this happen, if divorce, separation, if my come and stay come to an end, what is the way forward? And one way to be able to move forward, if you are financially stable, you feel like, yes, I can handle this, because money is not everything, but there is nothing you can do like today in day-to-day life without money. So some things that make us to go through so many stuffs, and we are unable to disconnect ourselves in relationship, in most of the things that happen to us in society, is because we are not financially stable. But if you are financially stable, and on top of being, even when you lack finance, by the way, when you lack finance, make sure you have knowledge. Knowledge. Don't lack both. Please, my dear friend, don't make a mistake of missing both. When you don't have knowledge, make sure you have finance. When you don't have finance, make sure you have knowledge, or make sure you have both. Now I'd like to jump, because I can see my time have much gone. Now I have seen, we have talked about things you should think before you divorce. Now I want us to look about things that you should consider or think or take precautions after divorce. Yes, now you have come to a point, yes, you are divorced. Remember, immediately after you are divorced, or you are separated, or you have moved apart from your come and stay, first thing, you're angry of your partner. You don't see even your own mistake. Probably the mistake was yours. And here I give advice to families members. You see, it's like these two partners are not coming into good term. The one that is weaker, he tried to get some reinforcement and power from his family member. And women, we are the most used by our brothers. As your son come to you and tell you, mom, this woman no good, blah, 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 blah. Make sure you have collected all that data. And by the way, as a parent, because that is your daughter too, that is your son too, you should be very, 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 very accurate, not to side with any of the two. For according to my own research, most of these people that they want help and the enforcement to attack the other partner, they are the most that have caused that divorce. The high possibilities, they are the ones that have caused all that problem that have led to divorce. And that's why because the other partner, remember, you who have come from outside, even those that work in social government, you get a small piece, just a small piece of the things that happened. Most things these people, they have kept for themselves. For it can be their divorce is about, one is sexual and inactive. Let's say a man is an sexual active, because women, it's very hard for us to, it's very hard to detect that a woman is sexually inactive. But men, their organ is, when it's dead, it's dead. But women, we can pretend. And do you expect these couples to come and tell you who is working in social government, to tell you as a mother, to tell you as a sister, I'm divorcing this man because he's sexual and active. They won't. They will try to get some other reason. So I am leaving this man. So before you act foolishly, and I said it's mostly they use the family members which are female, because we female we have this too much this. Hey, you cannot do this to my brother. You cannot do this to my sister. I thank God because I had the knowledge. I didn't go for my family members. Yes, I was calling them and I was sharing with them what was going on, but they knew my right. And they knew I didn't need you. I was dealing with specialists. I was dealing with specialists because I've seen how it do goes about. To get to your family, if I got my family member and my ex got the family member, how could the battle end? Worse than the way it started. We could not have come in good terms like the way we have come in good terms today. So immediately after you divorce, take care of yourself, for you are psychologically unwell. Hey, I went to a hospital 1 year, psychologically unwell. And this psychologically unwell, it affects your health. You don't eat good. You have the food, but you cannot eat. You have the food, you cannot eat. Even it affects even your work. It affects your social life, because you were before you are moving with people who are married. Now they had your divorce. They separate from you because they don't want to divorce like you. So you lose your social contact. So it's good to be ready, to be aware now. Those friends, those female, those couples, we are moving. You are moving together and doing things together. Now you are no longer together when you are divorced. You belong to another category of divorcee. So you have lost. You don't have some good social networks. And before, even you don't have the appetite. Appetite after divorce. You don't have appetite. You are so much down. You are so much down. And like women, we are angry. I remember I didn't want any man to say, I told you on in another episode, I quitted from my job because when I went to that job and it was a new job, I changed job because they knew I had divorced. I changed to another. And when I went there, the man, my boss was a woman, but the boss in the other department, he came that morning. And he was, and I think my female boss realized there is something, because the man was swinging there. The man was swinging there. He was swinging there. I think the woman jumped like this. What's wrong with this man? And because my new boss, we had sat and I had already told her that I am new. I am going some stuffs. So she protected me. And when I quitted from that job, I think she was not mad about me. She understood me very well. How could this man did not understand? I was very angry. I could not handle man. I could not handle men. I was saying like every man is like the same shit. Every man was shit that time around. I could not trust men that time around after all that stuff I have gone through. So immediately when you have, and it might be the same case with the other partner, he could not handle women. He was seeing them the same shit. Because he was angry with me. So every woman was shit. And that is so much is take understanding. Yes, he was doing stuff. And you see yourself losing weight. My dear friend, I lost weight. You lose weight and you lose weight. And until you understand. But with time, if you are cruel enough and you try to reconcile with your ex-husband or your ex, with time you will cool down. You will cool down. But me, I don't know. It was too much. It's that time God started working me. But I didn't understand why. Because every case I was, he was there representing his family. The family was there. No one, no, I had no one. But the angels filled all the courts. Where I went, angels were with me. But me, I thought it was my knowledge and my argument, because I've been like this since I was in secondary school. I understood that my argument, they are of another level. So I thought it's your knowledge, but I didn't know God was working behind the scene. So even with all this, mind you, we could move, we could just end the case in the court, and we continue talking with ourselves. Even the people that we are causing drama is my ex family. My family had nothing to do with this. They had no time. They knew I can handle this. I can handle this. And I take this opportunity to thank my ex, because of the time and because of what we went through. Because himself, as I said earlier, I was raised by a single mother. My father died, and himself, his mother, he raised him like himself. The father separated. They separated too. Yeah, he's the biological father. They had separated with the mom. And then the father went far ahead. And I don't want to go to detail because that is her mother's life. I don't want to go. So because of this, I think because of this experience that we had of being raised single, we put ourselves in the shoes of our children. And we said, yes, we cannot live together. It have happened stuffs and bad stuffs that have made us to lose money and to pay a lot of money in court. Yes, but you know what? We felt guilty. That we felt guilty of raising our children. Yes, we don't live together. We live in different places. But we felt guilty. We did not want our children to go through those stuff that we went through. So we decided to sit down and arrange, come into good terms. Because remember, me, I had my family, he had his family. But who is the family of these children? And the home we started and we introduced to them, this is our home. Now it's broken. By the way, parent, if there is something that affects children very much, it's war. And even the extended family, you should know like this. When you are fighting the mother or the father, when you are creating wars in that family that is already going much, you are putting more problem. And you start realizing even children, they start going down academically. Because children, they see things, but they don't have power to talk. They don't talk. But we intend to think that children, they don't see, they don't realize what is going to around. I tell you, they collect data than we think. So, for the sake of your children, not to plant that seed in your own family. And by the way, I had another woman. She's a counselor. And this one, I can say, don't try it at home. When you don't come in good terms with your mother-in-law, your love family, remember, there are two people that can make your family, that children, those children you love so much, to end up getting a curse. I had another woman saying that the difference between you and your stepmother is that your stepmother came earlier. But I tell you, in God's name, you don't have the power in the realm of spirit to cast those parents. And even if you can throw words for them, they cannot affect them. But one of your step parent word, it will not affect you because you don't have their blood. But these ones, these young ones, especially when you have children, tell God to hold your mouth. Because with time, if you are wise, they realize this woman, because most of the attacks, let's talk the real thing. Most of the attacks, they go to women after divorce. People, they don't see men as cause of that divorce. They see women, we are the ones that are blamed, even by the society. They see us as failure. But mind you, most of us, we are very, very innocent. This person they are trying to defend. And with the time, they realize, I'm telling you. With the time, just hold your mouth. Don't argue. Don't do anything. Silent. With time, they realize. And they'll start even, the attack will go to the next direction. Now we have realized. With time, they realize we have lost a diamond. We have lost a diamond. A diamond we have lost. And sometimes they don't have any chance to get back the diamond. But with the time, if you take things seriously and wisely, these people, you will all come back. Not together and stay together and solve your matter because you have divorced. And when you divorce, you have already decided you don't want to reconcile. We have seen some few cases where people, they have divorced, and to divorce, it doesn't mean that you can never in life marry. You remarry. Even the same people have divorced. No. But most of the people divorce, they don't reconcile. It happens when people, they separate in these trials, in these three type of separation, that you have chance to reconcile. But most of the people, they divorce completely, and they are ready to move on. But it doesn't mean that you cannot have good relationship with your ex family, because like in most, as I said, that in most divorces happen and they are children. So you still have the blood of that family. What you need to do is to be wise. Keep friendship. Because sometimes even you may need to go and visit the grandma with, sometimes you can feel like you can hear that the grandpa, she's unwell. And don't be foolish, man or woman. Take those women. It's your family. Although you separated with your partner, it doesn't mean that you separated from the entire family. It's not the entire family that wronged you. So don't go abusing everyone, and don't put everyone in the same basket. Even with the time you realize, you'll be able to, you'll sit down and see, even me, myself, you immediately after divorce, you are pointing your finger to your partner. But with the time, you will see that these four, they are pointing at me. You start going to another level and thinking, yes, he was wrong, but to an extent, even me, I have some few mistakes here and there. I was wrong. So instead of being angry with your partner, you understand your own mistake and you reconcile. you start planning. And the good thing, by the way, in all those things, come to stay before separation is to reconcile. Please reconcile, not to go back in that relationship, especially if there was domestic violence. It can be physical, emotional, in kind of in don't try to go back if there was violence, physically, emotional. Don't go back, but you can come into good terms because of their children. Because some people, when you don't do like, sometimes you have even to lose, my dear friend. You have to lose. And you don't lose because you want to lose, but you consider your children. You want your children to be happy. Some things you have to force with yourself. It's just for a period. Remember this child. The most important years in child life is the first 18 years. After 18 years, this person is a mature person. Is a mature person. Is a mature person. But as long as your children is underage, be there for your child. Be there for your child. If you don't want to be a child, if you don't want to be a parent for the whole of your life, because a mistake in your children's life, it will affect you the whole of your life, because you'll be there to support them. Me, I do say it's better you lack finance. I can go and take a loan in the bank. But knowledge, not there, not there, not there. Because with knowledge, we can work things. We can work things. We can lack money, but you cannot go and ask for a bank loan for a knowledge. Knowledge is important than money, because Solomon was given wisdom, and with that wisdom, he could be able to create wealth. He could be able to create wealth. So let us be wise. As I said, this divorce, it takes too much energy. It takes too much energy. It takes too much energy for you. So you need to take yourself psychologically and well, and you need to take care of yourself. And one thing is you can ask me, how can I take care of myself? One, you have to forgive yourself, as well as forgiving the others, for your heart to heal and for you to be able to move on. Learn, train yourself. It doesn't sound easy, like the way I am trying to make it. It take time and it take grace for you to forgive someone who have mishandled you, who have done things that affected the whole of your life. It's not easy, but all things are possible. You just need to have a willing. And if you are religious, pray for God for that grace to forgive people. Yes, they have wronged you. They have done bad things to you, but pray for God to give you grace to forgive people. Because when you forgive, you heal, and you are able to move on. In this time, after divorce, remember for you not to be able to end up in a depression. Remember, you have lost as a social rival of yours. But you can, with the time, try to find something new to compensate what you have lost. You can start simple courses. You can find anything that you like doing, fun, anything you like doing to keep you busy, because empty mind is the devil's workshop. Don't give a devil a chance. Find something to do to keep you busy, and you make it in life. When you divorce, when you divorce, try to come into good term with your partner. Not because you need him no more or you need her anymore, but where there is children, this applies where there is children. You try to come in good terms for the sake of the children. Because when two bulls fight, we see is the cloud, is the surrounding that losses. Here the surrounding are the children. They become unwell. They physically, emotionally, this thing you are doing, you too. They are affecting not only you, but they are affecting the children. Even some parents, they are much affected because they wanted your life to be, they were expecting, now they were in a comfort zone. My daughter, my son, he's married. Now they were done and they were comfortable. They knew that you have fight your way. And now here, you have come back to zero. This divorce is not affecting only you, it's affecting so many people. So it's good to think about it, even the society. Because in some countries, the societies, they have to think the way forward. Like if, let's say, for example, in West countries, you have been divorced, you were jobless. They cannot throw you out. It's the responsibility of the social government to take care of you, to take care of the children, to find a place for you to live, to know how you start earning you to know how you start with your life on as a single-hood parent. So these things have affected so many people in your life. So many people that allowed you. So it's very good. Even we saw, even it affects you. It affects your place of working because some people now they have to consider the stuff that you are going through, and sometimes you may not be doing things. You may be tired because you're not eating well. You are psychologically unwell. So they cannot expect even you to perform the good job you are doing. So they have to cope with you for a period. Then it's good where if you can reconcile, come into good term and agree. Now, this is how we are going to share our cost for our children. And yes, we don't live together, but we have to share the cost of our children. Yes, you decide who is taking the children, whether you are going to share, like they live 1 week here, they live in the other week in the other house, or you decide you mother, you father, you can take of the children, but they come and visit me when they have closed the school, when they are free, and to some extent where divorce happen, and some of these things where children are going to stay, it can be decided by court if your partner is like having problem with mishandling the children, drugs abuse. So in some countries, you can lose parenthood because of some behaviors, and it doesn't mean that you lose the children for life. When you change, or they help you to come out of that abuse, to come out of that which is preventing you from being with your children. You have the right to have your children, but you must show they must follow you and see that thing that is can affect the life of the children negatively is far away from you, and in take understanding. Don't try to say things that for the sake of your children. Don't try to fake things and you pretend that this is not the way they are. My people, the community, the social government, they are faking things. If you know truly in your heart that's the way they are, things the way they are, let the government, let the social government help you, because that's their work. to help you, and you come far than the way. And at long last, you are the one that you gain. They are not there to gain. They are not there to separate. They are not there to cause war. In fact, they would be very happy if there are no wars in the society, because that it costs them support for the family. So don't mistake the work of the social government. They are there to help you. They are there to see that families are healthy, and that is their duties. But let them do their work. Let them do their work. If you're in good terms and you can still talk to one another, it's good sometimes to hang up with one another, with their children, just to go out, eat somewhere. There was a time I wrote on Facebook that, yeah, I think I wrote something like, I don't know whether it was my birthday. We were celebrating it at my ex house, because we do take it's our traditions in my family that we celebrate Christmas in my ex husband's home, and because that was our home, and we feel that have been our home for so many years, and we feel so much home there in his place, because that's the home. Then where I live, I just move on. I didn't want to create war. I didn't want to create drama. I just left everything, and I said enough is enough. Even I don't want anything from this house. I just check. I wanted peace. And with that wisdom, I could be able to secure my children life. And even after divorce, we still live happily. We still share much. We still hang up so much. We still help one another because we have children. So, like the way when I have girls' time and he's having boys' time, you have no stress. No, he just called me and asked me, I'm planning to go out this day and this day. Would you mind keeping children? Would you mind taking care of the children? If I'm free, why not? Why not? Why should we fight? It is our children. We have the same right I have, and we should not limit. We we should not take the children, because what it makes partners bitter. You don't want the other partner to help, but with time the burden will become so heavy. That's the time you develop bitterness. Then you start abusing children, throwing word, being bitter. Instead of that, let your partner help you with this burden, so that you can have your own time. Remember your mother, but I'm still Helen, I need my time. I need my time to go hang up. I have my hobbies. I need time to go do skiing if we are not skiing with my family. I need time to meet the girls. I need time to sit down and do this show. This show. I need my own time, and that's the time you need the other person, especially when you don't have parents like myself. And today, in life we are living, like we Western, we don't have housekeepers. You have to come to good terms. If you this life will be very tiresome. If you have to wait for your children until they get mature, this is the time you are going to start going out happy. Hey, life is going to be a burden to you. Life will lack taste, and you start thinking these children are burden. So let us be wise, and we live and we enjoy life. Life is so sweet when you know how to handle things. You don't have stress. You don't feel, you have no pleasure of anything. You know what to do. It is not easy. It is not easy, but you take the things. It is a matter of accepting. Yeah, vitu zimekaa hivi zimekaa. Things are the way they are. But will I die now? Yes. Will I die? No, life have to continue, my dear friend, no matter what. Even now we have corona, and life is still continuing. Life should not stop because a storm of divorce, separation, being apart from come we stay. No, it should continue as normal as possible. And because of time, I want to say thank you for those that are watching, sharing, and subscribing. Until next time, but I'm thinking of whether we are going to take I'm going to check my schedule on the weekend, because I promise you uh, that we are going to take this topic because I want to encourage someone. I want to encourage someone. I went through stuffs, and I feel like I should share this, because some people, they are sitting there and they are seeing as if they are gone stuffs. People have gone stuffs and they can still smile. They can still smile. They can still enjoy life. So let's not what's happening in life stop us, but it should give us knowledge and strength. We are not the first one, we are not the last one. And we are not going to be shaken by the storms of what is happening. It's there to strengthen us, to rebuild us, not to collapse us. See you until next time.